Arteza sent me this marker pad and their Everblend art markers, premium. And the exciting thing about these is that they have the brush nib. I've reviewed the Arteza chisel nib and bullet nib markers when they first came out. Apparently now they call their markers the Everblend Ultra art markers. I'm not 100% sure on the why for that. Doesn't seem to be on the box itself, but on the website, it does list these as the Everblend Ultra art markers, and this is the Deco Tones 36 count set. So I'm going to go ahead and break into this. Still has the packaging and everything. I'm really liking the box so far. Oh, it's magnetized so that it keeps the box secure. Pretty cool. And there's even a little diagram showing you that you can flip it open and kind of flip it over and sort of rest them like that so that when you have them laying down, this kind of acts like a little rest, and then you can access your markers really easily. Oh wow, it's even packaged inside. Okay. Wow. Definitely feel like they've stepped it up a bit on these markers. Ooh, I also like the look of the markers. So they definitely kept that triangular barrel shape, and they went with a dark gray barrel color. Easy on the eyes. Color caps look really nice against it. And so on the barrel, we've got a brush indicator, the name Arteza, Everblend art marker, and then the chisel nib indicator on the other side. The caps are easy to take off. That's always a plus for me. I always hate it when marker companies make their caps so dang hard to take off. These are effortless. Ooh, I like that nib. Nice. Definitely can't wait to check that out. And on the caps, we do have the color number of Y12, color name Canary Yellow. Same thing on the other side. And of course on the barrel, it also has the color name and the color number. I personally like that. I've said in the past that I enjoy markers that list the colors on the caps and also the barrel, because sometimes, very rarely, I do take off both my caps. And if I'm working with another marker, like sometimes I put the wrong caps on the wrong marker. Like it happens. Why does that happen? I don't know. Why am I taking off both caps on two markers? I don't know. It happens sometimes though. It does. So I feel like identification on the barrel of the marker is a plus. I really do love the boxing of the set, and I'm glad they didn't go with something plasticky. That's another thing. Markers these days, the best example I can think of is chameleon markers. I bought a set of those. It was just hey, here's, I don't even know how many markers it was, 30 markers. And it was just in a case that is not meant for durability. It's just, and you open the markers, you take them out, and you got to store the markers in something else. It's not meant to go back into that case. It's just plastic, which I found annoying given that the price of those markers were expensive. But yeah, I'm glad that's not the case. These markers, however, the 36 Everblend art markers, specifically in the Deco Tones pack, is currently listed as of right now on their Arteza website at $33.99, which is pretty awesome, because then that means that every single brush nib marker in this set roughly comes to less than $1. At the same time, I'm not sure if that's a special price for right now. That just happens to be the price literally at the time of this recording. And I'm just mentioning that because I do see two other 36 count sets where the price is actually $89.13. I don't know if maybe because it's a new product or what, but yeah. So let's go ahead and color swatch these. And the paper we're going to be color swatching them on is this 50 sheets marker pad paper. And then the price of this pack on their website is $11.99 for just one pad. They do have a listing for two for $17.99, which is definitely a better deal. It says to tear this sheet out and use it to protect your pages from bleeding marker ink. Okay, this is pretty standard. I've seen a lot of other marker brands have them, so that's nice. And then this is the paper. Okay, not too bad. It's a little on the thinner side. I personally like, let me see, it's 73 pound, 120 GSM. So yeah, this isn't the thinnest paper that I've seen for alcohol markers, but it is thinner than what I usually like to work on. And then it's easy to take out a sheet, which I do love. So that it kind of gives you the choice of either working on the marker pad itself and keeping a collection of art in here or taking a page out. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and color swatch them really quickly. I do this with all my marker sets, just in case. It's just easier. Even if your marker set comes with color swatches already made, I still recommend doing this. Really loving the brush nibs. Definitely have a Copic-like feel. I particularly like that. Okay, so these are the colors, all swatched out. Gonna do some blends just to see how well they do. This is just the BG04, and I'm gonna have it go into the BG07. And of course, we all love brush nibs because of how well they do with blending. So just a matter of flicking to the side. And then what I like to do is take the other color and go right on top and pull out so that hopefully I can get my brush marks over here at the end to fade right into this lighter blue color. Nice. So this is definitely a pretty seamless blend. And honestly, that's what I'm looking for. I shouldn't be seeing any streaking right here where my two colors meet. So that's exciting. All right, let's see about, I wonder how well I'd be able to go from this really like harsh orange to a yellow. So this orange is actually called Tangerine. And I'm just gonna do the same thing that I did with the previous color. Just kind of bring it out and then go over it a few times to get rid of its own kind of streakiness within. And just keep pulling out and going right over top and out. And I'm just kind of working the middle area, pulling out, because I'm trying my best to see how good of a blend I can get. I'm gonna go ahead and go into a lighter yellow. And there we go. This is the YR17. You can see a little bit of transition streaks, like very, very slightly, if you were to like really focus on them, I guess. But overall, like this is a really good blend. I'm very satisfied. Okay, so I went ahead and I cut the paper down, gave it a black border. And so this size is pretty much a recall from my Inktober series. So I'm just going to pretty much do a similar sort of portrait that I did with my Inktober series because I really enjoyed that. And I think I may go ahead and make her a monster as well. Then I want her hair to be really dramatic and flowy, kind of just to fill up this space that I've got going on here. And I'm feeling like I want to draw wings on her head. I don't know. Like a pair of mini bat wings just seems like a cute idea, maybe? It definitely gives me Morgan vibes from Darkstalkers. That definitely wasn't planned, but the more and more I draw her, the more I'm like, yeah, this definitely looks like Morgan. And there we go. That's pretty much my sketch. I'm gonna keep it simple like that and just get right into the inking. Because I feel like once I put the color of the markers onto here, it's really gonna bring it to life. So I'm really excited for that. So let's go ahead and get this inked up. And it seems to run on the same ink system as the Shinhan Touch Twin markers, which is great because then the marker ink could probably be refilled really closely to Shinhan's ink refills, since Arteza themselves don't actually have refills available. So this would pretty much be considered a one and done marker. You use it, it runs out of ink, and you basically buy a new marker of the same color. And I know for a few that can be kind of annoying after a while, but I personally find it kind of hard to judge the brand based on that alone, only because other brands that are more affordable like this have that same issue. It's kind of like that trade-off. Like, yes, you're getting a more affordable marker brand, but things like refill ink aren't included. And then I'm really specific about how I shade my skin. So there's a lot of back and forth on this part where I'm doing the shading, going back to my original color to blend it out. So I really like to have my skin tone as, I don't know, blended as possible. I think I'm gonna go with like a really strong red around her eyes. I don't know, I'm just really feeling like this might be a good idea. So the blending, in my opinion, for these is really top notch. I'm really satisfied. Although honestly, I didn't have much doubt anyways, because I have worked with their chisel nib and bullet nib. So I knew that the blending was there. But of course the brush makes it a lot easier. And you'll notice that I actually go outside the lines a bit. I don't really mean to, but I'm not too concerned because the parts that I like kind of go into are going to be parts where I know my color will be darker. So it'll hide it in the end and just kind of fix it. So like I said, I'm just not that concerned about that area. So that didn't turn out too bad actually. I might do it a little bit side just to definitely even it out. I think I'm going to add some red. Like she gives me vampy kind of vibes. Yeah, I think that works out better. It feels like it balances her face out more. And this is where I can really see how the blending is. Oh, wow, that's a lot of bleeding though. I don't feel like I got that close to this wing right here. Huh. I probably could ease up on the pressure that I'm putting because that's a little concerning. So I'm definitely going more light-handed here just to make sure, because I definitely don't want bleeding out down here. Yeah, that definitely bled more than what I put it on. A little bit of a letdown, not gonna lie. I don't feel like it's a marker issue. I feel like it's more of a paper issue. So right now I'm just being a lot more light-handed and just being a lot more cautious about how much I'm pressing so that I don't have that same ink overflow. I got it a little bit right here, but not as noticeable, and I feel like it could be a pretty quick fix with my liners, just kind of just going over it with my liner to hide it. Despite the few hiccups that I had with the ink bleeding a bit outside of my lines, the hair came out really good. The color vibrancy is amazing. All right, so I'm coming down to the end. I'm coloring in the little wings on her head with a purple color. Now I'm using this deep iris purple, definitely being more mindful as I go to the edges, just so that it doesn't go beyond my line art. And of course I mess up. Happens to the best of us, I guess. I don't even know. So, I mean, it's not the biggest of deals. I accidentally used my darker purple to color in the webbed part of her wing, but I'm thinking I could actually make this work. We'll see. And so I'm going to do like the cartilage bone sort of area lighter. Does that work? I guess. I don't even know. Honestly, it just looks like I messed up and didn't even notice. That's what it looks like. And now I'm just coloring in a solid color for the background. I'm using the chisel nib on this one because I personally feel like I get a much more even flow with the chisel nib. So for those in doubt, there is benefits to the chisel nib. It just feels like it lays the color much more solid and balanced so that there's really no streaking. Yeah, the color deposit with the chisel nib is just so even. That looks really flawless. And that's that. Definitely wish I hadn't had messed up with my wing, but it is what it is. Would have looked so good coming out like that. But anyways, not going to dwell on that too much. My final thoughts on the products. Absolutely love the markers. I think that they performed very, very well. And I'm so excited because I also have a 36 count skin tone pack that I'm going to be checking out on my next video. So stay tuned for that. With this skin tone coming out as good as it did, I'm crazy excited to be looking at the options that they have selected for their skin tone set. I pretty much have high hopes for that set. The paper though, I'm not a huge fan of it. I have to be honest. I do feel as though there are better paper options for markers. I'm not a fan of the thinness of it, and I do feel that the bleeding out that happened right about in this area may have been a paper issue. Obviously, I'm not 100% sure. I am just assuming because I don't feel like it's a marker thing. When things like that happen, it's almost always a paper thing. And that's not to say bleeding doesn't happen on any other paper. Even the paper that I choose to use all the time when it comes to marker art does to some extent have a bleeding issue, but I just felt like this was a tidbit more than usual. So those are my thoughts. And of course, they sent me these products for free in exchange for a review. But of course, my thoughts are honest on the markers and of course the paper as well. As I mentioned, I'm not a huge fan of. But if you enjoyed my review, leave a comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you all next time. Thanks everyone. Bye. Oh, and of course, Arteza is participating in Black Friday with some really great deals. So definitely make sure to check them out at arteza.com.